from Unity News. This is Dateline Atlanta.
Hello and welcome to Dateline Atlanta. I'm Samantha Ross.
And I'm Mike Chen. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Dateline Atlanta. Well, the theme of unity has grabbed a lot of headlines at this year's convention, but are we really unified when it comes to the real world? Dateline correspondent Michael Douglas takes a look at minority competition in the tough job market.
With each step, and booth by booth, Rashonda Tate is giving her best. She knows it will take that and then some to outshine other qualified minorities at this job fair. It's a tough task, but Rashonda says she's ready.
I'm also looking for a job, trying to move up the ladders in the business.
Rashonda is only one of 5,000 journalists that have flocked to Atlanta for this multi-ethnic journalism convention. Job hunters are hoping this effort will live up to one of its goals, getting more minorities working in the media. Barbara Gutierrez is the managing editor for the Miami Herald Spanish language paper. She says newspapers are tightening their money belts, but jobs are still available.
In general, we are hiring less, but we're all conscious of the fact that diversity is important, so we're all here looking for the best talent we can find.
In fact, from 1989 to 1993, the number of working journalists increased only 1.1%. The job market looks grim. In print, 5,000 lost their jobs from 1987 to 1991. And in broadcast, 10,000 workers found themselves unemployed within a 2-year period.
This minority hiring equation is very simple. With fewer jobs in the industry and more qualified applicants, this means that they are not only competing against white applicants, but other minority applicants as well, which could prove to be more disunity between the minorities.
This tension could be eased by these recruiters if they are hiring for quality, but not for quotas. However, many journalists remain divided on the issue of tokenism.
It's not tokenism anymore. You have to understand that for minority journalists, there are talented, capable people out there who can do the job as well as anyone else.
I think it's tokenism for various reasons, whether it's, people looking for a certain race or a certain, background or a certain gender or whatever.
Ting-Li Wang says she replaced another Asian American female at People magazine for a trainee program. She finds some of the hiring practices hard to stomach.
I mean, I'm trying to not think about the race issue. If it was me and another person competing for the same position, and somehow, I came up on top.
Rebecca Aguilar is a TV reporter in Dallas, Texas. She has replaced and been replaced by other Hispanic females.
I believe, and many people in the business of broadcasting have told me that when I'm up for a job, usually I'm competing against women and Hispanics. That's it, because they are looking, the person in management is looking for that certain person.
On this road to diversity, managers play a key role. Steve Carver is the general manager of the CBS AM radio station in Chicago. He believes more white managers need to undergo a change.
Managers have to go through training themselves in managing the diversity at radio stations and TV stations. I think it's, no question, a sensitive area, and I don't think we've done enough.
Meanwhile, new FCC regulations adopted in January may help minority hiring in broadcasting. This is Bobette House's dream come true. This week, she's hunting for a job. Years from now, she plans to be offering jobs.
That's the way I have to get my foot in the door. I want to get my foot in the door that way, and then I'll prove myself, and then ultimately get in a position where I can hire the people that I want to hire.
In spite of the tight job market, Rashonda Tate says she won't give up because she's determined to reach her goal.
I've wanted to do this for so long, and I just know that everyone can tell you no, but sooner or later someone's going to have to tell you yes.
Hopefully, this Unity 94 convention will give Rashonda and others the answers that they are looking for. Michael Douglas, Dateline Atlanta.
At least 400 recruiters were on hand for the Unity 94 job fair.
You may have seen thousands of broadcast journalists pass through the job fair. They were trying to impress recruiters with their resumes and audition tapes.
But in a profession where appearances can make or break you, having the right look is winning half the battle. Gina Kim joins us now to tell us more about that broadcast look. Gina?
Well, Michael, it seems that in the world of television journalism, there is an unspoken rule that on-air reporters and anchors must have a certain look. We talked to some insiders in the news business to find out what they liked and what they didn't. The makeup, the hair, the perfect look. The world of modeling? No. Try the world of TV news. More than any other profession in journalism, those who bring you the news through the tube get judged most often on their appearance. The way you look can mean the difference between employment and unemployment.
It's important. Your look is important. It's television. Half the battle is your look.
For that reason, aspiring and professional broadcast journalists attended a Thursday panel entitled How to Develop a Polished On-Air Look. Veteran consultants talked about everything from eyeshadows to shoulder pads. They even did makeovers. But we noticed something unusual about the audience. All the women had similar hairstyles, similar looks. We didn't notice the variety of styles we saw elsewhere in the Congress Center. We asked why.
I thought about getting braids about the month before I came down here, but then I realized I was coming to the convention, so I didn't get them because you can't get a job like that. The bottom line. You never see people on TV with braids.
But people do look like that. There are over 30 million black Americans in the United States, and many feel comfortable wearing traditionally African clothing and hairstyles. Many women and men have long hair. But it is the rare reporter or anchor whose hair extends beyond the shoulders. That's because experts say long hair sends the wrong message.
What you do not see in the working world are women overwhelmingly with very long hair. It suggests youth, carefreeness, it suggests a looseness. And we're not saying that you have to look tight, but you do have to look professional and polished.
But what about ethnic styles like the braids and dreadlocks? Don Fitzpatrick specializes in recruiting on-air talent for over 100 major market stations throughout the country. He views over 200 audition tapes daily and says out of those, only about 2 or 3 even catch his attention. And he says ethnic looks are no problem.
The hair can be pulled back, and so you look in a very professional manner, but at the same time keeping your ethnic mode.
So you have no objections against ethnic mode?
No, absolutely not.
Ethnic garb?
Absolutely not.
Unlike Fitzpatrick, most people we spoke to, including this taxi driver, said they didn't like the idea of seeing television journalists with strong ethnic looks.
In an ethnic group that do not dress and appearance come across as being very professional, I don't think it go along with their job title.
But perhaps the ultimate word by which job-seeking journalists should go by came from this top management recruiter. She has the final say when it comes to who will be good enough to work for her number 2 market station.
Braids are probably a little more difficult because it's distracting. If I'm looking at you and you're telling me a story and I'm looking at your hair, then I'm not hearing what you're saying. And that's what I care about. You look in the country and see. I mean, look to see who gets hired in the various markets. And I think that speaks for itself as to what news directors and news executives are looking for.
For the most part, her words ring true. Of the top paid anchors in the nation, none have braids. None have long hair. Their looks have set the standards by which others follow. But if Carol Simpson has her way, this will not be the case for long. The ABC network anchor hopes the future will bring change to the way Americans look at television journalists.
And I think America is prepared to accept people that are not gorgeous and people that are not perfect in every way and people who don't all sound the same.
Now, there are always exceptions to the rule, as you know. Most managers we talked to said in bigger cities, ethnic looks are more acceptable for TV journalists. But they also say female reporters and anchors have to pay more attention to their looks than the men.
Thank you, Gina. Well, still ahead on Dateline Atlanta. Where's the barrio?
Latino population in Atlanta rapidly growing. Dateline sets out to search for the Hispanic neighborhood.
Well, this is just good as I asked me to start jumping. You shouldn't pay no mind to him. Don't say nothing. Just play like you don't even know him. Just don't look at him, don't breathe at him, don't blink at him, don't do nothing. My grandmother always says to earn my money. I'm earning it.
Well, that's a dirty way of earning your money.
Well, my other friends does it.
And so what? That's your other friends.
But that's not you. You got more sense than them.
Money don't matter. Your life matters.
Navajo believe when a baby laughs for the first time,
she becomes a real person. And whoever makes that baby laugh is a hero, because laughter is sacred to the Navajo. It is the Creator's first gift to mankind.
Traditional native
The Latino population is growing in the United States, and the latest facts and figures show that Atlanta is following that national trend, just like many other major U.S. cities.
And those cities have very large and visible Latino neighborhoods or barrios. Dateline correspondent Lisette Sosa joins us now to tell us more about Atlanta's Latinos.
Michael, Samantha, with so many Latinos in Atlanta, you might think finding the barrio or Latin neighborhood would be easy, just as easy as asking around. But as we found out, finding the barrio isn't that easy.
Atlanta, the home of Coca-Cola, CNN, and Southern hospitality. But you might not realize it's also home to arroz con frijoles and 58,000 Hispanics.
But where are they, and where is the barrio, the Latin neighborhood? We were hoping that some of these people could tell us.
I have no idea where it's located, I just moved here from Florida. I don't know.
Well, he shouldn't feel bad. Most Atlanta residents we talked to couldn't tell us either. Major cities like Miami, LA, and New York all have large populations of Hispanics and all have their barrios. So the search for the Atlanta barrio continued.
The barrio, sure. It's the slum in Mexico.
But somehow that didn't seem quite right. So we asked an expert. Maritza Keene of Atlanta's Latin American Association told us why we were having such a hard time.
I would say that there really is not a barrio per se.
There really isn't a barrio per se? So where are the Latinos?
So they're not looking to make any kind of a statement. So in that way, they're looking to blend in. So in that way, they're invisible.
The closest thing to a barrio we could find is along Buford Highway. So we hit the streets to find our Latino population and a good place for a bite to eat.
It was there where we finally hit Tater and Havana's restaurant. We also ran into a seafood restaurant, a grocery store, and a bakery. And indeed, we found our frijoles and tortillas, very popular among Latinos. One store even carried a line of Spanish greeting cards, because to many here, happy birthday just isn't the same as feliz cumpleaños. The owner told us Latinos come here to get those special items from home. We have, like, coffee makers that nobody has, Puerto Rican food that nobody else has, many things that nobody else has. But the Latino flavor of Buford is seen in more than just restaurants and grocery stores. Hispanics are now operating dance clubs and other entertainment centers in the community. There's even a bilingual newspaper that caters to Hispanics of all nationalities.
We have a really unique mixture of different ethnic groups along this border, including Hispanics from many different countries, Cubans, Mexican Americans, we have Colombians, Dominicans, just from all over Panama, Colombia.
The Latinos are bringing a lot of business to Buford Highway in DeKalb County and other places as well. At the Sanctuary in trendy Buckhead District, the music is mambo, merengue, and salsa. The Latin beat is hot.
Because that there is a community that is establishing itself and that is progressing and that only attracts more people.
But Latinos aren't the only group coming to Buford. The highway has become the international road that welcomes all.
But it's more of an international barrio. It's a mixture not just of Hispanics, but of Koreans, Vietnamese, and other ethnic minorities that have come to the city of Atlanta.
While there isn't a barrio in Atlanta, the Latin influence is definitely seen and heard, which leaves many asking how long before we get a barrio.
If we're looking at 1994 right now, come back in about the year 2000, and if you really can't see the Hispanic community now, you'll see it.
Now, the look of things here at the NAHD Southerners, it may be a lot sooner than that,
before everyone knows where they can find the barrio. And as the Latino influence continues to grow in Atlanta, community leaders will face many challenges. The biggest may be making sure that the community grows in unity.
Well, that's it for Unity 94. We hope you've had a good time.
And as we leave you now, we take a look back at our opening ceremony. Have a safe trip home, everybody.
We are indivisible. The drumstick unity 94.